Today is 795th day that I'm here to listen and learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Last couple of days I shared reflection on 2023. And of yesterday I covered a little bit how to plan for 2024 and of course in a long-term vision. Now, when you think about reflection, it's very important to reflect about yourself. Whether you're looking inwardly, what you do, what you didn't do, how you feel, who you are, what is your strengths and weaknesses is very important. But sometimes we forget that we need to understand that we are part of community. We are part of an environment. And that means that there is a lot of things that we need to reflect not just about ourselves, but about external things as well. Now, I'm always believe that the internal world is priority. We need to invest majority of time in internal, but sometimes we need to really reflect and give some 10% of our time to really understand where we are in community and in an environment whatsoever. So today we'll share 10 things that we need to reflect on together with internal things. So those external things need to be reflected. It does not need to be reflected like every single day, like internal things, but you still need to be catched on, you need to be understand because you are part. So that means that it doesn't matter how you change internally. Sometimes external things will change and you will need to adjust to that. So being aware what are external changes is coming, you're able to adjust and improve even better. Because when you're able to really use your internal power and understand how external things are changing and then use these external changes, including internal, that could maximize your results. So number one is global events. So when you think about external things, we need to understand what are global events. So what happened and what is happening? Because that could have a massive impact and influence on your life. So what kind of global events are coming? What kind of happen? What those global events, like what kind of influence they had on to your life, on the day-to-day life? Because a lot of global events are making an influence in every single person's life. So what are those events? And of course, what events will be in the future that could potentially influence your life? Being aware is very, very important because it might be that it will need to change it just because of those. Number two is national or regional events. National or regional events. That means that when we think about events, what if events happened? And what if events will be in the future? It might be that you want to join and go to those events. Maybe there's some kind of conferences, seminars. So you're able to make a list of all year events. 2024. What will be the events that you might want to join? What will be events and why those events could potentially be useful, beneficial for you specifically? Because when you know that there are some events is coming and you have scheduled priority is the most important events of the year. Now, of course, and that means that if you schedule the major things in your life, in your schedule, in your year, that means that not minor things will come into those dates anymore. So it's very, very important that when you prioritize the most important events and dates in your life for next year, minor things will have more difficulty to come into your life. It's very, very important. Number three is cultural and social shifts. Cultural and social shifts. So when you think about looking to community, looking in the regional, looking in the local community, and looking at a global community, how people are changing, what they start looking, what they care about more. Being aware of that is very important. Of course, if you're a business owner and you want to solve problems, and you're able to look into what is a local community problem, what is a global problem, you're able to really tap into the problem, create a business, solve a solution, make things happen. So being aware of social cultural shifts is very important to really live in society and at the same time really supporting the solutions that could help a new shifts and new culture, new social shifts. Number four is economic review. So that means when looking to economic review, they're able to look into how is doing our country, how is doing economically, and how is stocks, bonds, and every investment is going. So that means if you're a person who really loves investments, of course you will do, but if not, still being aware of situation and opportunities that is showing up, because we need to start investing our time to really being aware of finances, being aware of economics, being aware of those, because those are important. It doesn't matter which field you are in. This is still one of those essential things to be aware, because we want to live financial abundance life. Everyone deserves and everyone's supposed to seek financial abundance. And financial abundance a lot of times is achieved through understanding economical review of what to do to really understand different kind of investments opportunities and really look into opportunities of when and is the best time and knowing when is the best time to really invest your money into different things. That is very, very important. Number 5 is health and science advice. Health and science advice. Every single person has some kind of health related issues or that they potentially could solve. And every single year there is some new and more advances. Now it's so interesting that people are able to live now that people were not able to live 10, 20 years ago. Like health advance have technology and have improved so much that I just amazed how much we have advanced and we are still advancing. So we need to be aware of what is happening, what kind of technologies are coming out, just to make sure that we understand where we are going. And this is very, very important to understand because health is important. So that means it's not just taking care of yourself internally, but be able to really working and understand what is external abilities of technology whatsoever. Number 6 is social and environmental issues. So it means that look into what kind of problems do we have in environment and social, and yet this is part of being aware. Now, of course, if you do not have the resources to do about it, just awareness. But when you work on a business, when you work on yourself, when you work on building the resources, building the power, courage, bravery, and everything in between, when you have more power, you're able to really solve some issues. But when you do not have any power, when you do not have any resources, you're being aware and really investing more time into building yourself, but being aware of social and environmental issues, it really helps because sometimes you're part of the problem because you're able to choose to be part of the problem or part of the solution. Part of the problem, part of the solution. So that means that when you are aware, you're able to be part of the solution. When you are aware, you're able to start working on building yourself, building the power, resources, and then start working on solving those problems. Number 7 is technological innovation. Technological innovation. So when you look into technologies, it's 2024 will be a crazy year because AI innovations, that will be massive. And there's a lot of different technology innovations that will change our house for the better. And knowing and being aware of those, really take advantage of those technology innovations, not leave behind because you can be left behind because a lot of careers and everything will be changed because of knowledge and innovation. You can accept it or deny it, but technologies will move with you or without you. So I highly recommend to move with technology advance, not trying to resist. And this is a very powerful tools. 2024 will be one of the biggest advances probably human race have ever seen. So being aware of what's happening is very, very important. Number 8 is political developments. Now, this is one of the things that I probably don't like the most. Politics is one thing that I do not like because a lot of times it's based on opinions. And of course, if it's based on opinions, of course, it's hard to follow something. But still, being aware of what's happening, and really being aware of what other politicians are doing and what they're saying, just to be aware, because if you're not in politics, you don't need to follow every single day. You need to focus on your life every single day. But being aware just and really review what's happening in the politicians world is still important because we need to choose who will represent us in politics as well. Number 9 is business and industry trends. Business and industry trends. So what business are growing, what industry is growing, and why is it growing? Because of course, if you want to build a business one day, we need to follow and invest our time to understand what are the industry, what are the business, and what are the trends of those businesses. It's pretty straightforward. That means, of course, if you're not in a business, might be the business will be less interesting. But if you're in a business, business trends and industry trends are essential for your longevity on the business. Now, we're looking at the last one is number 10 is future prediction. Future predictions. So it means we need to look into, what potential will happen. When you look into some people who really predict 2024, predict the future, what do they predict? And why do they predict that? and how those predictions could align with your life, how they could impact and influence your life. What might adjustments you might need to make in the next year that you could really get the most out of the year. So that means when you look into your internal world, when you look into your strengths, when you look into your weaknesses, when you look into your goals and vision, how all those future predictions will align with yourself, with your person that you're becoming. Does that amplifies who you want to become, or that might be that there will slow down because of different reasons? So being aware of future predictions and what might happen could allow you to really maximize your results. It's very, very important to understand that we need to predict ourselves who we want to become, build predictions and take action so on towards it, and predict what will happen in the external world and how those will match. And when you have the biggest match, of course, then it will be a biggest success. So when you think about real reflection, it's very, very important to understand that if you invest 80%, 90% to reflect who you are and who you want to become, but still 10% is must be allocated to reflect on a year-end review for external world and all the things that's happening around you, because those things that's happening around you is still will influence, even though you don't have control over those things. We still need to have how you will adjust based on that. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.